Okay.
Hey YouTube, my name is Claire. I am a college freshman and this is my YouTube channel. And I am someone who likes to read books. I don't really have anything else to say right now. I'm not really part of the booktube community. I admire a lot of people who are in the booktube community, but I don't know, I don't really have that connection. I do Goodreads and stuff like that. I'll drop it down below. But yeah, this is just going to be space for me to talk about what I'm reading, what I have read, what I want to read. Hey, I explained so many things wrong in the beginning of the video. Let me turn this off. It's real hot in California right now. I'm so sorry. This is a book video that I'm doing right now, but that's not all I'm gonna post on here. I might do a day in the life. I might do a travel vlog when the pandemic is not happening. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do. This happens to be a book video. I read a lot of books, so I assume that there's gonna be a lot of book videos. Literally ignore everything that I say ever because I never know what I'm talking about. So enjoy the rest. Okay, so this summer, I just started school, so this is where I'm doing the cutoff for my books that I've read recently. So I read 17 books. I did hard copy books, and then I also dabbled with some audiobooks. I finally started mooching off of someone else's Audible account, so that's nice. Hey Audible, sponsor me if you'd like. I am not going to be putting these in a certain order. These are just in the order that I wrote them down and that I have them right here. First up is Freshman by Tom Ellen and Lucy Iveson. There you go. So this is a college romance. It is about a boy and a girl who meet when they're freshmen in college, and so the boy is on the football team at the college, and the girl is just your average student, and his position on the team compromises their relationship in a lot of different ways because his friends on the team are just simply so awful. So yeah, I gave this 4 stars, I think, because it fulfilled its purpose. Like, that's the thing with, like, me rating books. I know that when I pick up a book like this for romance, I'm not going to get a classic. I'm not going to get, like, a Jane Austen, you know what I mean? So it fulfilled its purpose. It was quick. I finished it in an afternoon. It was cute. It made me laugh. It made me cringe. It did what it had to do, you know? It did what it had to do. Next is Meet Cute. It is an anthology of different meet cute scenarios, so that means when 2 love interests first meet or first have their spark or whatever. What attracted me to this originally was some of the authors that were featured. So in particular, Nicola Yoon and Catherine McGee were the people who had me interested in this book because I really liked Everything and American Royals, so I liked it. It was very cutesy. I gave it 5 stars because of, again, it did what it had to do. Some of the scenarios were better than others, but overall there's a lot of diversity within the stories. There's LGBTQ romances, there's interracial, how they meet. It's not, you know, like bumping into each other in a coffee shop. There's like some really out there scenarios. Like, I'm pretty sure there was one of them where they were applying to go into outer space. They meet in the interview going on the rocket. I think that's one of my favorite ones. Next was Truly Madly Royally by Debbie Rigaud. Zora is the main character. She is just this very strong-willed, passionate young black girl who does a lot for her community, and she goes to a summer program. She meets Owen at the summer program, who is like the prince of some European country, and she doesn't know that he's a prince, and so hijinks ensue. And I liked it because it was quite refreshing that Zora was just a black girl who was. I've read so many books, had to read so many books for school, where there's some type of issue in her life. That's what really brought me to give this 4 stars, because got to read about a black girl just having a happy ending with a cute prince, and that's not something I get to see a lot of the time. Next up is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Oh boy! Honestly, I'm sure you're familiar with what dark academia is. It's like an aesthetic. It runs rampant on Tumblr, if you still use that website. This book is like the dark academia Bible. You literally can't like go through that aesthetic without seeing this or a quote from this or an idea from this on the pages. And I liked it. I did like it. 4 stars. Maybe 2/3 of the way through, I got super bored and had to like power through to the end. So what it's about, it is about a man named Richard who goes to college at, I'm not sure if they call it an Ivy League, but it is just a New England college, and he joins this Greek language class that is like, that has only 4 other students. 5. This like eccentric professor, or no, he's not very eccentric. He's just quite mysterious. I don't know. He's not like a normal guy, but that's not really important. He's really not. Okay. So Richard meets all the people that are in the class, realizes that they've got some secrets of their own. He gets roped into it, and yes. Note about this book, I also thought it was really interesting that they study classics, they study the Greek language, study like Greek tragedies and stuff like that, yet their actions and their hubris makes their own story a Greek tragedy. Really interesting commentary about like dark academia in general. I feel like the people who like this book and idolize this book are kind of missing the point sometimes. The people who like this book are the exact people that she's talking about, and I'm not even sure they know it. They definitely don't. Next up is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. Oh, I love this book. I gave it 4 stars. It is about Stella, who is an autistic young woman who consults Michael, who is an escort, to teach her about love and relationships, and it was just really cute. I really like the representation. Michael is half Vietnamese, and Stella is autistic, like I said, and it was just very nice to see that an autistic protagonist was written as they are, which are human beings, not something that makes them less than human, you know? So seeing her shown as she is, as another woman, was very nice. I wouldn't put it down. I finished it as soon as I got it, and yeah. Because I liked The Kiss Quotient so much, I went ahead and bought the sequel, which is The Bride Test, which follows Michael's cousin, Kai, who is also autistic. And again, for that exact reason, I love this one. I gave this one 5 stars, actually, because it was just... she's just such a great writer, and it was such a good story. I had a camera mishap. How about this? So what this is about, for the 3rd time, Michael's cousin, right? I said that. And he doesn't believe in love, and he doesn't believe that he can love or be loved. And so his mom decides to go ahead and find him a bride in Vietnam. Esme is her name. Esme comes to America, and basically, you just gotta read and see what it's about. I can't tell you. Read it. Is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. 4 stars. I definitely gave it 4 stars. Only because I had been reading like a series of really bad romances right before this, and it like skewed my perception of what a good book would be. This is about Chloe Brown, who just doesn't really think that her life has that much of a purpose, or like she's not achieving much, I guess, and so she consults her superintendent of her building there in the UK. So it's her superintendent named Red, and basically she has like a bucket list kind of, and you know, maybe love's on that bucket list. You gotta read it. Next up on the docket, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So growing up, I was a Percy Jackson kid. I love Percy Jackson and Greek mythology, and so this is a recount of the Trojan War from the point of view of Patroclus, who was Achilles' companion, lover, best friend. I guess you could call it a second in command. I don't quite know. I just really like this because I felt like I was learning something. Because of course I've read the Odyssey, but this was, I feel, more in detail in some parts. As well, the Odyssey covers so much. This was mainly I really outdid myself for like the worst explanation of the book.
Why did I talk more about the Odyssey than the actual book that I was talking about? So, obviously, yes, it covers the Trojan War, but it also covers the development of Patroclus and Achilles' relationship, which was really beautiful, honestly. They really did love each other in this book, of course. I obviously don't. I wasn't there. I can't say if they were actually in love or not. If this book 5 stars, I'm pretty sure. I definitely did, because I'm thinking about rereading it right now. So, yeah, I liked it.
And then last of the material books that I got, The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I gave this one 5 stars too. It is exactly what it sounds like. It is an enemies to lovers romance about Lucy and Joshua. And ooh, I love this book so much. It's very slow burn in my opinion, but it's just like the end goal is so worth it. And there's the character development and the situations that they're in feel so real, and you really start to care for every single character. Or actually, no, you start to care for Lucy and Joshua. The rest of them, some of them I really don't like. That's it for the paperback books. But then I got into some ebooks and audiobooks, and first of the audiobooks was A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. Rated that 5 stars because it's a hard one, honestly. Listening to it, I was like, this is so violent. It follows Alex, who is this droog. There's like a new language. It's called Nadsat in this story. A futuristic dystopian England. And so droog means like a thug, I guess. And so Alex is 15 and he's a thug and he runs a gang and he just does awful things to people until one day he gets caught. And instead of doing prison time, they decide to put him in this like rehabilitation therapy, which ends up traumatizing him basically. And while I was listening to it, I felt so bad for him. I was like, oh my god, no one deserves to be put through this. And then I was like, wait, am I feeling bad for him right now? And that's just superb writing right there for him, for Burgess to be able to make us as readers feel bad for this person that we have listened to do such atrocious things. And so that's why I give it 5 stars, because I was like, wow, kudos to you for making me question my morality. Next one was I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. Oh my god, this was one of the craziest books that I've read, listened to, whatever. Oh my god. If you like A24 horror movies, like I do, that's why I got recommended this book. You're gonna like this. It made me feel like someone was behind me the whole time. Even talking about it right now makes me feel like someone's behind me. It was just very well written, very eerie. I can't even tell you what it's about because that will spoil the whole thing. It follows a woman and a man going home to see the man's family. I think his name is Jake. Yeah. It's just crazy. Like, you just have to listen to it. You have to listen to it because it did win Best Audiobook. I can't remember which year, but it did win Best Audiobook one year. And I just think that it would be a better experience listening to it because of the performance of the narration. It's crazy. It's really crazy. If you like Midsummer, Hereditary, The Gallows even, you are gonna be interested by this. To finish up this video, I'm going to talk about some ebooks that I read. So I was reading a lot of these heavy books. It was right after I did A Clockwork Orange and The Metamorphosis.
I literally didn't talk about the Metamorphosis. Anyways, I did the Metamorphosis audiobook, written by Franz Kafka, narrated by Benedict Cumberbatch. It was real good. I don't really have much to say about it. I'm pretty sure that's why I forgot about it. But if you want to read an autobiography that's also an allegory, go ahead. Learn about his life, and then why he wrote the story, and how he felt like he was a parasite on his family was not the best use of my afternoon. Honestly, that's it.
And The Secret History, so I needed like a palate cleanser, so I did some trashy romances that were free. So I read L. Kennedy's Briar U, and I can't remember what the first part of the series is called. I don't think there's a name, but it's the Briar University hockey team. Gave it an average of 3 stars, if that tells you what's going on, and that's like a gratuitous average. It did what it had to do. It was a trashy romance. I got through it quickly. I don't know how you rate these because it's not like literature. If I had to pick like favorites, I guess I would pick number 2 of the first series and number 3 of the third series. I really can't say I would recommend these to people because I needed a palate cleanser and I got one, okay? I read 7 out of 8 of them in the span of 5 days. So if that gives you an idea, those are your books. I didn't read the 4th one of the first series because the main character had a child, and that was like literally so out of left field, not even going to waste any more brain cells on it. That is it for this summer reading review. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched this far, I plan to make more videos like this, but if you want to catch me in other places, I'll drop my Twitter, Goodreads, Instagram, and blog. I blog about kind of anything and everything. I'm going to start doing way more about books, so I would recommend looking at that. And yeah. Peace out.